Good morning. Good morning, everyone. We are going to begin with singing. I'm going to invite our song leaders up this morning. We have our community choir joining us. Matthew has the day off, but we're all going to begin by singing together, We Give Thanks. Please rise in body and spirit, and we're going to sing this through 3 times, and I have some instructions for you about how we're going to sing this together. The first time, we're just going to sing it all the way through once, just to sing it, and then I would like the 2 sides of the congregation to turn to each other and sing it again facing each other. So this side face this way, this side face this way. Sing it to each other, and then we're going to sing it again a 3rd time. And the 3rd time, just imagine it going up and out to the entire world. So 3 times, we give thanks. Other. Give thanks for this precious day, for gathered near and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give up and out to the world. Oh. Thank you and welcome. Welcome into this community of love and care. Welcome into this community of tenderness and compassion in a world that can often feel abrasive and cruel. We gather here to rekindle that hope, rekindle that connection that supports us and enables us to thrive and survive, not just as individuals, but as a whole. Starting here, but never ending here, always moving out in wider circles of care until we embrace the whole earth. Welcome to this Heritage Sunday. Welcome to this Earth Day Sunday. Welcome to this space of renewing connection here at the Unitarian Society. I'm the Reverend Julia Hamilton. I use she, her pronouns. I am delighted to be here with you this morning with Angie Swanson-Kiriakou, our Membership and Outreach Coordinator, with Peter Hale, our Worship Associate, Heather Levin on the piano, Gwendolyn Kilfoyle, our Community Choir, and our Community Choir members, and all of you who have taken this time to nurture your spirit and grow with us here at the Unitarian Society. We are a loving community of seekers who strive to live with integrity, nurture wonder, and inspire the actions that transform us and transform the world. We have a lot going on here at the Unitarian Society this spring, a lot going on beyond Sunday mornings. So if you are visiting with us this morning, we would like to extend a special welcome to you to get connected so we can keep in touch. You can fill out a connection card at the welcome table in the garden, or online. There's a little button right above the live stream where you can click and let us know your contact information so we can reach out and welcome you here. And you'll be hearing a little bit more about what membership in the congregation means as we honor honor today those folks who have made this their home for many, many years. I want to highlight a couple of the upcoming events that are happening here today. For Earth Day, Earth Advocates, our environmental justice team, has set up a special table in the courtyard. You are invited to stop by and say hello, find out more about how you can get involved in our work caring for the earth. We also have a special invitation from some of our friends at the Tribal Trust Foundation. At noon, right over in the park, as part of the Earth Day celebrations today, they are going to be doing a special water ceremony working with Art Cisneros, who is one of the Chumash firekeepers in our community. The Tribal Trust Foundation works to help hold on to indigenous knowledge around the world so that it doesn't get lost in the generations. So all are invited at noon after the service to the water ceremony happening in the park. We have our Lunch and Learn series coming up next Sunday afterwards. I'll be leading our UU 101 class, and there are several other opportunities. You can sign up for those now. And there is also our continuing conversations with our Anti-Racism Commission, figuring out how we respond to the urgent needs of this moment to dismantle systems of oppression in our world. So I invite you to sign up for one of those conversations either after Sunday, or there's an online option too. If you're joining us from afar, we would love to see you there. I'd like to invite Sylvia Abwali. John, I'm going to use the microphone here. Let's see. Sylvia, I might have to just stand next to you. Sylvia has a special invitation. Hold on just a second.
I'm here to tell you about the program Friday for Alliance. Very, very important. All of us have experienced fraud. We're having a district attorney's office come to our parish hall Friday at 2 o'clock to tell us the update for everything that's going on, plus everything we can do. She talked about a crime unit, so I don't know whether they're actually going to come, but she mentioned that. So really, very, very important. Thank you so much.
And finally, I want to announce there's a special invitation after the service today. We will be having a guest during coffee hour. A student from the Laguna Blanca School is doing work on religion and society and asked if they could come and talk to some of the folks here at the Unitarian Society about religion in their lives. And so they're going to be joining us in Parish Hall during coffee hour in the back by the library. If you want to sit down and have a conversation with a young person in our community about religion and secularism and your life, you have an open invitation to stop by the library during coffee hour. There is a lot going on in our lives and a lot we carry with us from the world, so I invite you now to take a breath, to settle yourself wherever you are. Allow yourself to be fully present to this moment as we ring our bell and let the sound connect us.
Our chalice lighting words this morning were written by the Reverend UU Minister Peter Rabel. We build on foundations we did not lay. We warm ourselves by fires we did not light. We sit in the shade of trees we did not plant. We drink from wells we did not dig. We profit from people we did not know. Together, we are more than any one person could be. Together, we can build across the generations. Together, we can renew our hope and faith in the life that is yet to unfold. Together, we can heed the call to a ministry of care and justice. Every Sunday, we share one good thing that we've experienced or heard about. And I had written some notes about a good thing to share on Earth Day, but something happened this morning on my way here to church which I'd like to share with you instead. As I approached the church, I saw a gentleman sleeping under the small library there on the corner. He was under a tarp. And so I passed by and came inside, and then I thought, no, I'll go out and talk to him. And so I did. I sat down next to him on the bench, and I said, good morning. And he said, good morning. And I said, how are you doing? He says, well, okay. And I said, our church service is starting. And he said, oh, okay, I'll move on. But we talked a little bit more. And I asked him about where he's from, and did he live in Santa Barbara, and where he usually hangs out, which is in the park across the street, but that is under construction, so he could not be there. I gave him a little money for breakfast. He thanked me. We said a few more words, and then I invited him for coffee after the service. I hope he shows up. I'd like to continue talking to him. But I'm mentioning this because I keep in mind our basic first principle, the worth and dignity of every person. And it's difficult for me these days to walk by that kind of situation and not address it. He took the money and he said, oh, this is good. This is really good. So I'm sharing that good with you.
We do have another flame to kindle this morning, and that is our candle of memory for a dear member of this community, Wade Volk. And thank you, Peter, for sharing that story, because one of the way Wade shared his generous heart with the world was by working with Showers of Blessing, showing up for the warming centers, always being present, never just walking by. You might have seen him in the kitchen cooking up a storm as we prepared meals for our guests who come in on cold winter nights. Wade had a heart as big as the world, and he will be greatly missed. And so we take a moment this morning to kindle our candle of memory for Wade and all of those who have come before us and on whose shoulders we rest. Blessings on your journey, Wade. I would like to invite us now to sing again. We're going to rise in body and spirit to sing one of our most beloved hymns, Blue Boat Home. It's number 1064. Our song leaders will join us up here. Please rise, whether you're at home or here, and let us sing Blue Boat Home together. If you ever find yourself swaying while you sing that song, feel free. I always do. Don't hold back. I'd like to invite now any kids or youth or folks who want to join me up here for a story this morning to come on up and join me up here on the carpet or on the steps. People of all ages are welcome. Charlotte is out this weekend, so I get to tell a story this morning, which I always like to do, because I know everybody likes a good story no matter how old you are. Come on up and join me here. This is a story that was written by a woman named Rachel Naomi Remen, and it's about her grandfather and a gift that her grandfather gave her. Has anybody ever received a gift from a grandparent? Has anybody ever gotten any gifts from a grandparent? Yeah, sometimes when grandparents come visit, they bring things. And this is a story about something Rachel's grandfather brought her. Often, when he came to visit, my grandfather would bring me a present. These were never the sorts of things that other people brought, dolls and books and stuffed animals, though. Once, he brought me a little paper cup. I looked inside it, expecting something special. It was full of dirt. I was not allowed to play with dirt. Disappointed, I told him this. He smiled at me fondly. Turning, he picked up the little teapot from my doll's tea set and took me to the kitchen, where he filled it with a little bit of water. And back in the nursery, he put the little cup on the windowsill, and he handed me the teapot. If you promise to put some water into the cup every day, something may happen. At the time, I was 4 years old. Is there anybody else here who's about 4 years old? Yeah. And my nursery was on the 6th floor of a big apartment building in the city of Manhattan. This whole thing made no sense to me at all. I looked at him dubiously. He nodded with encouragement. Every day, Neshumala, he told me. That's what he called me, Neshumala, which means beloved little soul. Every day, Neshumala, and I promised. And so, at first, curious to see what would happen, I did not mind doing this. But as the days went by, and nothing changed, it got harder and harder to remember to put water in my cup. After a week, I asked my grandfather if it was time to stop yet. Shaking his head no, he said, every day, Neshumala. The second week was even harder, and I became resentful of my promise to put water in that cup. When my grandfather came again, I tried to give it back to him, but he refused to take it, saying simply, every day, Neshumala. By the third week, I began to forget to put water in the cup. Often I would only remember after I had gone to bed, and I would have to get up out of bed and water it in the dark. But I did not miss a single day. And one morning, there were 2 little green leaves that had not been there the night before. I was completely astonished. Day by day, they got bigger. I could not wait to tell my grandfather, certain that he would be as surprised as I was. But of course, he was not. Carefully, he explained to me that life is everywhere, hidden in the most ordinary and unlikely of places. I was delighted. All it needs is water, Grandpa, I asked him. Gently, he touched me right on the top of my head. No, Neshumala, he said. All it needs is your faithfulness. This was perhaps my first lesson in the power of service, but I did not understand it this way then. My grandfather would not have used those words. He would have said that we need to remember to bless the life around us and the life within us. He would have said that when we remember we can bless life, we can repair the world. And that's our story for this Earth Day, to help us remember to bless the life all around us and bless the life within us. Let's sing you to your activities this morning with Janie, who is waiting for you right at those doors. Let's all sing our kids out. We hope this is not only Earth Day, it is also Heritage Sunday, the service when we honor the longtime members of this congregation and all those who have made the Unitarian Society part of their life's story. It's a Sunday when we pay special attention to the story of this congregation, seeking to understand who we are, who we have been, and who we are becoming together. Joining the Unitarian Society, on one hand, is as simple as signing the membership book. And the current membership book we have goes all the way back to 1976, if you look at the first page. But we have books that go much further than that, down in our archives, all the way back to the first 25 people who started this congregation in the late 1800s. Heritage Sunday is sort of this partner service with our new member Sundays. The Sundays when we take time in the service to welcome the newest folks among us. And the next new member Sunday is coming up on June 1st. So if that's you, mark your calendar. But we hope that becoming part of this congregation is an unfolding relationship that deepens and grows with time. We hope that everyone we celebrate on a new member Sunday will one day be named in a Heritage Sunday as well. And we do this because it is no small thing to be part of a voluntary community for 20 or 30 or 40 or more years. It means that you have gone through good times and bad times, seen more than one minister come and go, given of your time and your resources and talents. You have cried on someone's shoulder and probably been the shoulder that someone has cried on. And I don't even want to try to count the number of hugs and handshakes that you have probably given out in this community. It is a beautiful thing to learn how to live deeply like this. And it's a bit of a countercultural thing these days. I think for the first time since they started keeping track of this in the 1930s, less than half of the population of the United States is a member of a religious organization. But for those of you who are here, I'll let you know that being part of a religious organization may add years to your life. Statistically, you live longer if you're a member of a church or synagogue or temple or mosque or sangha, so keep it up. But building and sustaining a congregation isn't done by samples and statistics and anonymous individuals. It's done by real people with real names and stories and hopes and heartbreaks. Real people who show up over and over again to learn and laugh and grow and share, to usher or serve coffee or hold someone's hand in the hospital, or teach an RE class. This whole community is the result of generations of people making the choice to invest themselves in this place staying alive and vibrant. And so this is why we are doing what we are about to do, to honor those who have made this long-term commitment to the life of this congregation. And not just for themselves, not just to add those couple of extra fun years onto your life, they have made a commitment to all of you, whether you are here for the first time or the 100th time. And they've made a commitment to the future generations who will come through these doors. So we're going to start by honoring members who have been here at the Unitarian Society for 20 and 30 plus years, and Angie is going to help me out with that. And then a little later on in the service, in just a few minutes, we'll start honoring those who have been here for 40 years or more. And our data is not always perfect, so if you notice any mistakes, go ahead and talk to Angie, and we can update our information. So when you hear your name, if you would like to raise your hand or rise, or if you're joining us online, you can type your name or say hello in the chat. And we know that many of our older members may be joining us online or are here in spirit this morning, even if they're not in person. So we're going to read all of the names honoring folks wherever they may be in this moment. So let's go ahead and get started with those of you who have been here for 20 years or more.
Ann Anderson. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if I mispronounce your name, please let me know after the service. I'm doing my best. Ann Anderson, Bill Boyd, Christina Cable, Joanne Cherie, John Cherie, Alexandra Cole, Janice Conley, Ken Collier, Gun Dukes, Isle Gilbert, John Gilbert, Mike Hackett, Sally Hinton, Scott Lancette, Ivor John, Jean John, Paul Kretschmer, Rosaline Lancette, Joanne Magistad, Sarah McNeil, Mary Moore, Riley Neal, Valerie Neal, Ann Peterson, Charlie Stelzler, Terry Stelzler, Mary Love Thralls.
Thank you. You can clap for each cohort, that's fine. Next, we're going to honor those who have been members here between 25 and 29 years. Anita Bloom, Christine Boink, Edward Bookin, Monica Booker-Smith, Marika Davidek, Hope Firestone, Karen Harris, Julie Lope, Catherine McCracken, Detty Pikert, Ken Ralph, Paul Rourke, Jim Robinson and Judy Robinson, Greg Stathakis, Melinda Stavely, Ted Smith, Kay Stern and Ted Stern, Doug Thomas, Debbie Welterlin, Gary Welterlin, Bart Woolery, and Keir Zecker. Thank you.
And now we'll move to members who've been here 30 to 34 years. Sylvia Abueli, Terry Allison, Charles Hamilton, Kathy Lear, Astrid Nelson, Max Neufeld, Susan Neufeld, Roberta Parkinson, Lori Potter, Carol Schweizer, Jody Thomas, Dorothy Warnack, John Warnack, Deborah Wolf, and Chuck Wolf.
Thank you. And we'll end this round with those who have been members between 35 and 39 years. Ken Beiser and Nancy Beiser, Barbara Bonadeo, Alan Edmondson and Nancy Edmondson, Sandra Grasso Boyd, Betty Noling, Mike Noling, Carolyn Renard, Patricia Riley Stark, Gail Stichler, and Lorraine Woodman. Thank you.
Thank you. It's so good to be here with all of you this morning in this physical space, and to those joining us online. Again, for those who we haven't met yet, I'm Angie Swanson-Kiriakou. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Outreach and Membership Coordinator here at the Unitarian Society. Thank you. In preparation for today's service, I've had to reflect a lot on membership in the congregation. My own membership path began back in 2009, but I did not sign the membership book until 2018. But that's a story for another day about my own path to membership. About 18 months ago, I stepped into a new role for me and USSB as the Outreach and Membership Coordinator. This means that I have the unique experience of becoming a member, but also I have a behind-the-scenes look, how the sausage gets made kind of view on membership. Leading up to today's service had me immersed in membership and particular anniversary dates. To be honest, looking at numbers and dates isn't where I'm in my zone of genius. When I found myself in need of a break from looking at dates, I took the opportunity to look at photos from the past few decades that are stored online. I found a variety of photos such as a children's choir, former ministers, Christmas brunches, game nights, and even a Las Vegas night from 2006. And if anybody remembers that night, I have questions. Looks like it was fun. However, there was one photo that kept coming back to me that was not online. Back in September, I had the opportunity to sit with USSB's archivist and member Judy Ferris to look through some fantastic photos that she uncovered in the church's basement. One photo stood out to me at that time and immediately came to mind when thinking about Heritage Sunday, generational wisdom, and membership. That photo is the one that's on the cover of today's order of service. If you're watching us online, it was the image that appeared before you joined us. When I first saw that photo, one thing I noticed was the style of clothes and began trying to figure out what decade it was. I suspect maybe the 1930s or 40s. Then my eyes moved over to the iron gate that leads to the courtyard. I began to wonder how many members have passed through that iron gate in the campus's nearly 100 years. What was the motivation for people 100 or 90 years ago, 80 years ago, to become a member of the congregation? I suspect for many, their reasons for becoming a member are not dissimilar to why people become members today. Some are embarking on a religious and spiritual path for themselves or their family. Some are grappling with challenges or significant life changes that has them looking for a place of respite and renewal. And as history has shown, and that history always repeats itself, it seems, as I'm seeing recently, many probably joined to be with social justice-minded folks, wanting a world that is more just, inclusive, equitable, and loving. Being a member of our congregation is different than other types of memberships. It requires a steadfastness and flexibility for changing times and moments that are small and those that are monumental. It means showing up for yourself and for one another. Imagine all that has changed since those little girls stood by the iron gate right out front and had their photo taken. Being a member of the congregation invites us to expand and grow collectively and individually. It allows us to imagine and create spaces, programs, activities, and events that are not only enriching for ourselves and the church, but that can also have a meaningful and tremendous impact in our community. For fun and prosperity, consider taking a photo in front of the Iron Gate. And if you do, I'd love it if you shared that photo with me. If you feel this is the time to become a member of the Unitarian Society of Santa Barbara, every Sunday, folks are welcome to sign our membership book after the worship service. And of course, if you have questions or would like to talk more about becoming a member, please always feel free to reach out to me or Reverend Julia. I'd like to think that the little girls in that photo were lifelong members of the Unitarian Society, that through their lifetime they found connection, community, and comfort here. I believe that their contributions, spirits, and stories are woven into this church, just as yours are now and will be for decades to come. Thank you.
We're going to take some time to sing together again, so I'd like to invite our community choir up to lead us in this next song.
Good morning. Okay. Hi, I'm Gwendolyn, and I lead the community choir here at USSB, which is just an honor and a lot of fun. And we're going to invite you to learn and sing a song with us this morning. This is the chorus of a song by the Peace Poets, and when I heard what the theme was this morning, it felt like it really went with the theme. So we're going to have the lyrics up on the screen in just a moment. I want to invite you to connect with these lyrics in whatever way feels meaningful for you, right? So whether that's literally your ancestors that you carry in your bones, or if it's, this community or those people who share your values, or if it's that sense of purpose and meaning and moving towards the future, whatever it is for you. Okay, so let me grab a note. I will sing it, and then you'll sing it back to me. I have not come here alone. I have not come here alone. I carry my people in my bones. I carry my people in my bones. I have not come here alone. I have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. All right. I'm going to invite us to stand in body or spirit. If you feel moved to move, please feel free. And we're going to sing it all the way through together. At some point, I will cue us to switch from I to we, okay? And then you'll change it to R, right? I have not come here alone. I carry my people in my bones. I have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. I have not come here alone. I carry my people in my bones. I have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. I have not come here alone. I carry my people in my bones. I have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. We have not come here alone. I carry my people in my bones. We have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in our soul. We have not come here alone. We carry our people in our bones. We have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in our soul. Last time. We have not come here alone. We carry our people in our bones. We have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in our soul. And if you listen, you can hear them in our soul. Beautiful.
That song would sound pretty good out in the streets, too. I want to start off with this next section recognizing that there are, like those little girls in that photo on the cover of your order of service, there are people in our congregation who have grown up here and are members generationally. And although the membership date we have in our records, the official join date is when you sign the book, which is usually as an adult, there are people who have been here their whole lives. So if that is you, and I know there's at least one person here who has been here their whole life, if that is you, if you want to stand up so we can recognize and be glad that you are here and have made your life with us, yes. And there may be a few more out there joining us online as well. We also have a group of folks we call member emeritus. These are people who perhaps move away or for health reasons can no longer attend, who may not pledge financially anymore but remain part of our heart and community, even if they don't participate in the same way that they once did. And so I invite you also to take a moment and look at that name list for the member emeritus in our order of service as well. So now we are going to get on up there with the folks who have been here for 40 or more years of membership, so between 40 and 44 years. Go ahead, Angie, and start us off.
Hallie Anderson, Kathleen Beam, Anna DeStefano, Gail Fairburn, Susan Fairley, Judy Fontana, Donna Scalvin, Peter Hale, Mark Hamilton, Bruce Hanna, Colin Jones, Joni Jones, Deborah Karoff, Carol Keeter, and Tim Pettit.
Thank you. Now we are honoring the fine people who have been here between 45 and 49 years as members of this congregation. Louise Anagnuson and Ted Anagnuson, Linda Anderson, Janet Brinkman, Marty Bloom, Mimi Bradley, Sally Falstish and Stephen Falstish, Regina Fletcher, Mary Grimm, Maren Hansen, Stephen Johnson, Barbara Marjoram, Betsy Northrup, Joy Pinson, Nancy Revlin and Russ Revlin, Judy Stapleman, Nancy Van Antwerp, Carol Weingartner, and Candace White. Thank you.
And this is members who've been members for 50 to 59 years. Sarah Carr, Sally Hamilton, Gloria Hendley, Bonnie Jensen, Barbara Maxwell, Gary Maxwell, and Carol Preston.
And so here we have it now, honoring the person who is the longest term member of the congregation at the moment. I would like to invite Florence Michelle to come on up. Florence has been here since 1963. Come on up, Florence. And you can still find Florence keeping our kitchen in order and serving coffee and making sure this place welcomes everyone. Florence is one of those people who keeps our doors open to every new person who comes through, and I so appreciate that about her. And so to give back some of that inspiration to the whole congregation, because I know that our longtime members who are here, they inspire us in so many ways, but they are also inspired by all of the new people they meet each and every Sunday. I know that's why people stay here, because they know that in order to keep that spark of life glowing inside, there's always room for new connections and new community each time we open our doors. So I would like to invite all of us to help give back some of that inspiration to our long-term members. So if you have come here and found yourself moved by awe and wonder of the universe, if you have come here and found more meaning and purpose in your life, if you want to stand and rise or raise your hand, anyone of any length of membership, if you have come here to find a life of more integrity and meaning, go ahead and rise and look around at all of the people who are joining you on this journey. Anyone who has been inspired to make the world a better place. Our bodies and spirits rise together, or not at all. Thank you, each and every one of you who has made this a home.
Each Sunday, we dedicate a portion of our offering to an organization that reflects our principles and values. This month it has been the Wilderness Youth Project. All children need nature, regardless of race, class, culture, gender, identity, language, or abilities. For 25 years, the Wilderness Youth Project has fostered confidence, health, and a lifelong love of earning through time spent in the outdoors. Would you please read with me the affirmation of gratitude and giving printed in your order of service or on the video screen? Let us be grateful when we are able to give, for many do not have that privilege. Let us be grateful for those who share their gifts with us, for we are enriched by their giving. And let us be grateful even for our needs, so that we may learn from the generosity of others.
Thank you, Community Choir and Gwendolyn. And just a reminder that on Monday evenings in the spring session of the Community Choir, all are welcome to come and sing. You don't have to have any musical sight reading ability. You can just jump on in. It's a welcoming space just to sing your heart out together. And our chancel choir is also open to everyone of all abilities, whether you're just learning to recognize a note or you're singing with 150 people in the chorale in the community. All are welcome in any of our music spaces. And I want to shout out our drummers as well. You'll be hearing from them soon in a service coming up. I have a few more words for us this morning. Don't worry, it's not a full sermon, it's a homily. But Earth Day comes around every year. And every year when it does, I find myself returning to the work of Robin Wall Kimmerer, the Potawatomi botanist and author and scientist, most well known for her book, Braiding Sweetgrass. How many of you have read Braiding Sweetgrass or any of her other works? If you haven't, I commend it to you as always. It has become a sort of a sacred text for me. And no matter what I'm struggling with somewhere in her work, I usually find a passage that shifts something in me, that opens up a new avenue of thought, that introduces me to a new relative out in the natural world, a new teacher with wisdom to share. Her work rekindles in me this sense of possibility and hope, something that, I'll be honest, doesn't get rekindled that often these days. And even now, as we seem to be actively dismantling the progress we've made towards an environment that is sustainable and renewable, even now, I read her words and I find myself thinking of what is possible. Reading the news every morning sometimes feels like that ice bucket challenge that's going around on the internet, where somebody just dumps a bucket of cold water on you. So how do we reground ourselves in this chaos, in this cold, sharp shock that feels like it's waiting for us every time we turn on the news? It's hard to put our faith in our interdependence these days. Interdependence is, of course, a core value of Unitarian Universalism, this idea that we are not isolated beings. It's part of why we celebrated our Heritage Sunday this morning. We exist in this sacred relationship with the world and everything around us. As the Reverend David Bumbaugh said, we are called to preach the gospel of a world where each is part of all, where everyone is sacred, where every place is holy ground, where all are children of the same great love, all embarked on the same journey, all destined for the same end. But lately I have found myself reflecting on that idea that we are all destined for the same end is not as comforting as it used to be. And there are some folks out there I would really rather not be interdependent with, if you know what I mean. If I could help it. But I can't help it, can I? Because despite all of that, I still believe in interdependence. And not just as a value, not just as an ethical position like peace or compassion or love. I believe that interdependence is the fundamental truth of the natural world. The first cellular organisms flourished because they became interdependent with the water around them and the sunlight that fed them. Increasingly complex systems grew up from that first interdependent relationship, that first self and other who started to work together to create all of this. It's incredible, isn't it? That all of this exists because we are interconnected. Life feeds life, generation after generation. This is what is true. So how do we lean into that life-giving, sustaining interdependence and away from the death-dealing illusion of isolation that seems to plague this moment? I remember Kimmerer's chapter in Braiding Sweetgrass called The Council of the Pecans. I listened to the audiobook this past summer. If you haven't listened to her audiobook, she narrates it herself. And we were on this big, epic road trip with lots of time in the car, going to the national parks all the way up to Glacier in Montana. And so we decided to listen to Braiding Sweetgrass in the car. And this chapter called The Council of the Pecans stuck with me because she talks about the role of pecan trees in her own family history. The name itself coming from an indigenous language to describe any tree nut that was too hard to crack by hand, right? Pecan just means any nut that is too hard that you need a rock to crack. And she knew that the harvest from these trees is what kept her ancestors alive so often, through lean times and good times. And that when her people were forced to resettle and move, they would often carry baskets of nuts with them, not to eat, not to sustain them on the journey, but to plant along the way. so there would be a harvest for future generations when they were necessary. Life feeding life, generation after generation. A future harvest even when the present world seemed unsustainable. And then she goes on to describe how pecan trees know when to produce pecans, when to bear fruit. They don't produce the same every year in a steady and predictable fashion. They're not just a linear growth kind of organism. No, instead they do something called massed fruiting. I knew nothing about this before I heard her describe it. Massed fruiting, for years the trees will go not producing anything and just kind of store up starch and sugar in their roots. And then, all at once, all of the trees will produce their fruit. And this is to ensure that all the predators can't eat up all the nuts, right? There's so many pecans that some of them will get through to survive and become the seedlings of the next generation. The boom and bust cycle is the strategy of survival for the pecans. But the thing is that massed fruiting, that only works if all of the trees work together. If one individual tree decides that this is the year and produces lots of pecans and the other ones don't, well, then all the squirrels just navigate to that one tree, eat up all the pecans, and there you have it, you're back in the same problem. Instead, she says, if one tree fruits, they all fruit. There are no soloists. Not one tree in a grove, but the whole grove. Not one grove in the forest, but the whole forest. All across the county, all across the state, she says, the trees act not as individuals, but somehow as a collective. Exactly how they do this, we don't know. But what we can see is the power of unity. What happens to one happens to us all. We can starve together or feast together. All flourishing is mutual, she says. All flourishing is mutual. We make a grave error if we try to separate individual well-being from the health of the whole. The pecan trees know that there are always going to be lean years and fat years. But the only way they live from generation to generation is if they act together. The trees keep counsel with one another, and through that interconnection in their roots, deep in the substrate of the earth, they learn from each other when it's time to gather strength and when it's time to scatter seeds. And as the saplings grow, they learn that knowledge from the trees around them, passed on to them in their time. This lesson of generational generosity that the natural world seems so eager to share with us if we would only listen. So on this Earth Day, as we struggle with how to respond to this onslaught of current events, this uncertainty created by this chaos, we have to be careful not to get sucked into believing that it will always be this way, not pushed into a permanent ethic of scarcity. Scarcity creates economic value afterwards. There are people motivated to convince us that scarcity is the way of the world, but the pecan trees teach us, no. There is a deeper truth. Instead, there is an ethic of enoughness that permeates everything. A rhythm of the world that doesn't always follow the pattern of the political cycle or the printed calendars that we rely on. Abundance, the pecan trees say, comes from interdependence, not isolation. Survival comes from communication and collective action, and a sense of that longer horizon beyond any one season. We could do well to look to the natural world to remember that all beings survive by working in relationship, in counsel with one another. And remember that even in hard times, even in unpredictable times, abundance is always part of the cycle. And Heritage Sunday reminds us that there are people here who have stayed in counsel with one another through all kinds of boom and bust cycles. And these ongoing faithful relationships are what plant the seeds that will feed the children into the future. The lessons of generational abundance are all around us. All flourishing is mutual. We are interdependent. This is true, and it is beautiful, and it is why we are here. Amen. Blessed be, and may it be so. Let us together one more time. This is one of my favorite hymns, Rising Green. It's number 1068 in the Teal hymnal. It's printed wrong in the order of service, but the words are on the screen. 1068 in the Teal hymnal, Rising Green. You can follow along with our song leaders. We rise together. If you'd like to get connected as we prepare to go out into this beautiful and heartbreaking world, you can hold your hand over your heart, or if you have permission, you can hold hands with someone near you, or just hold them open wherever you are. However it is, you get connected to that larger life that moves within us and among us and beyond us. Let's make room for Angie here. And may the light of love shine upon you, out from within you, be gracious unto you, and bring you peace. For this is the day we are given. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And let us call out a blessing.